Ukraine, the U.S. has made much bigger sacrifices than the Europeans have. We have put 25% tariffs on India for buying Russian oil. Guess what happened last week? The Europeans signed a trade deal with India. The Russian oil goes into India, the refined products come out, and the Europeans buy the refined products. They are financing the war against themselves. So President Trump's leadership, we will eventually end this Ukraine-Russia war.
After nearly 2 decades of stalled talks and repeated resets, India and the European Union have now locked in a landmark trade agreement of historic scale. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen called it the mother of all deals, a label reflecting its sheer economic weight. The agreement goes beyond tariff cuts, reshaping trade flows, supply chains, and strategic alignment between two of the world's largest economic blocs at a moment of intensifying global trade rivalry. As India and the European Union seal what is being described as the mother of all trade deals, Washington is signaling clear discomfort. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has sharply criticized Brussels for finalizing a pact with India. Bessent argued that the United States has made far greater economic and political sacrifices, including imposing steep tariffs in an effort to pressure Russia over the Ukraine war, and questioned why Europe is now expanding trade ties with India. Bessent pointed directly to India's energy trade with Moscow. He said the U.S. imposed 25% tariffs on India for continuing to buy Russian oil, only to watch Europe move ahead with a major trade agreement with New Delhi.
European Union and India must work together towards our shared prosperity and security. India is the world's fastest growing major economy.
Friends, आज भारत ने अपने इतिहास का अब तक का सबसे बड़ा फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट संपन्न किया है.
A deal decades in the making has finally crossed the finish line. India and the European Union have sealed what leaders are calling the mother of all trade deals. This isn't just trade, it's strategy. After nearly 2 decades of stop-start talks, resets and dead ends, India and the European Union have finally struck a landmark trade deal. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen called it the mother of all deals, and the phrase stuck because the scale is enormous. This agreement doesn't just cut tariffs, it rewires how two of the world's biggest economic blocs do business. At the heart of the deal is a sweeping tariff rollback. Over 90% of European goods exported to India will see duties eliminated or sharply reduced. For Brussels, that could mean EU exports to India doubling by 2032. For Delhi, it means cheaper access to advanced technology, from factory floors to research labs. One of the most striking changes targets aviation and space. Tariffs on EU-made aircraft and spacecraft are set to be almost entirely removed. That's a game changer for India's fast-growing aviation sector and its expanding space ecosystem, lowering costs for airlines, satellite makers, and research partnerships. Beyond aircraft, the deal unlocks access to high-end European components, precision machinery, optics, sensors, and advanced materials. After nearly 2 decades of stop-start talks, India and the European Union are sealing what leaders call the mother of all trade deals. The agreement will slash tariffs on more than 90% of European exports to India, saving billions in duties each year. From aircraft and spacecraft to medical equipment, clean energy, and advanced technology, the deal opens the door to cheaper imports, faster innovation, and deeper supply chain integration. As India and the EU deepen ties, both are navigating pressure from the United States. Delhi is still grappling with steep US tariffs, while Brussels has faced threats of trade escalation from Washington. This deal sends a clear signal. Both sides are diversifying their economic alliances. So while the agreement is framed as trade, its implications go much further. It reshapes supply chains, accelerates technology transfer, and quietly redraws economic power lines at a moment when global trade is increasingly weaponized.
European Union and India must work together towards our shared prosperity and security. India is the world's fastest growing major economy. Trade has flowed between our two continents for centuries. And trade is crucial geopolitical stabilizer and the fundamental source of economic growth. Trade agreements reinforce rules-based economic order and promote shared prosperity. That's why today's free trade agreement is of historic importance. One of the most ambitious agreements ever concluded, creating a market of 2 billion people.
फ्रेंड्स, आज भारत ने अपने इतिहास का अब तक का सबसे बड़ा फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट संपन्न किया है। आज 27 तारीख है। ये सुखद संयोग है कि आज ही के दिन यूरोपियन यूनियन के 27 देशों के साथ भारत ये एफटीए कर रहा है। यह एक ऐतिहासिक समझौता हमारे किसानों, हमारे छोटे उद्योगों, इसके यूरोपियन मार्केट तक पहुंच आसान बनाएगा, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में नए अवसर पैदा करेगा और हमारे सर्विसेज सेक्टर के बीच सहयोग को और प्रबल करेगा। इतना ही नहीं, यह एफटीए भारत और यूरोपियन यूनियन के बीच इन्वेस्टमेंट को बूस्ट करेगा, नई इनोवेशन पार्टनरशिप बनाएगा और वैश्विक स्तर पर सप्लाई चेन को मजबूत करेगा। यानी यह सिर्फ ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट नहीं है, यह साझा समृद्धि का नया ब्लूप्रिंट है।
Narendra, we both know our greatest wealth are our people. That is why I'm so glad that we are signing an agreement on mobility. We will facilitate the movement of students, researchers, seasonal and highly skilled workers. And this is also why we are launching the first EU legal gateway office in India. It will be a one-stop hub to support Indian talent moving to Europe in full alignment with EU member states' needs and policies. This is good for our economies. This is good for the friendship between our people. And this openness benefits us all. Not only making our economies stronger, we are also delivering security for our people in an increasingly insecure world. And today, the world's two largest economies and democracies launched their first ever security and defense partnership. This is a landmark departure and a trust-based platform for cooperation on the strategic issues that matter most. In doing so, we will help to build each other's resilience. Europe and India have a long history of cooperation in the defense industry. Now we will enhance this teamwork even further. We will deepen our cooperation on maritime security, for example, joint naval exercises to tackle piracy. And we will step up our work on countering cyber and hybrid threats, which are getting more sophisticated by the day. And our partnership includes a dedicated dialogue on space security, from situational awareness to secure connectivity, and stronger cooperation on counterterrorism.